always an honor and a pleasure to be here with Debbie. Siempre es un honor para mí que Debbie me invite a estos lives, a estos días de compartir. It's always a privilege for me to be here and sharing through Icing Images page. What you can do with Icing Images products es lo que tú puedes hacer con los productos de Icing Images. En esta ocasión vamos a usar el Wafer Paper Premium. We are going to use premium wafer paper. And honestly, this makes wonders. So wonderful things. El wafer paper hace maravillas. Y yo lo amo. Entonces, let's get started. We're going to do like a flower, some texture, and some surprise, a little bit of surprise hidden there, okay? So I'm going to turn my camera down. Vamos a hacer esta flor y esta textura con wafer paper, entonces voy a mover mi cámara para que ustedes me vean trabajar, okay? Any question, please just write it down in the comments. If I can, because I'm going to be busy just here, if I can answer right away, I promise that I will come back and then read all your questions and answer.
And I can interrupt her as well as I see fit. But she's going to go into a rhythm, so I may save them.
Entonces vamos a comenzar. So as I said, we are going to use this Wafer Paper Premium and the paper potion. I said it. Remember the first time that I tried to say it that I couldn't?
Yeah.
Paper potion.
Very good.
Yes?
I said very good. I'll stop talking.
Okay. So vamos a usar wafer paper y este es la poción para trabajar el wafer paper. This is from Icing Images. We are going to need, vamos a necesitar, this is like 22 caliber wire, floral wire. Este es calibre 22. You can go up to 24. So the wafer, it doesn't weigh at all, but it's like good to have an extra structure to have more movement in each petal. So es bueno tener un soporte extra con el wafer, aunque este no pesa, pero siempre es bueno para darle movimiento. Voy a bajar este aquí para que ustedes lo vean de lo que estoy hablando. Ahí, o sea, los pétalos, como ven, se mueven. Entonces le puedes dar movimiento. So as you can see, each petal is individual wire, so you can have more movement. So, and it's super, super easy to do. Okay. So let's start grabbing a couple of, and you know that I'm like a free spirit. Ya sabes que yo soy como que espíritu libre, and I don't use many templates for my flowers. At the end, this is just like a fantasy flower, so that is not like a specific type of flower or botanically correct, because I am not that kind of person. Entonces, estas flores no son botánicamente correctas. Vamos a tratar de hacer una flor fantasía, pero que se vea linda. So, I'm going to grab one sheet of my wafer paper, and I'm going to kind of fold it in thirds. So I'm going to cut the excess. So I'm going to just grab like a 2/3. So don't throw this away because we are going to use it as well. Because for this flower, para esta flor, I have 2 sizes of petals. Tengo 2 tamaños de pétalos. And this is from internet. So esto lo encuentras en internet. Pones flores de papel, templates o plantillas, and then tú vas a encontrar muchas en internet. So you can just look for paper flowers, templates, and then you're going to have your, like 1,000 of different templates on internet. So now it's like very like the size. As you can see, this is the large size. Este es el tamaño más grandecito. Entonces es como el mismo tamaño. It's kind of like the same like height, okay? So the easy way to wire, instead of doing individual, la forma más fácil, I'm going to grab, en vez de hacerlo individual, I'm going to do production. Voy a hacerlo en producción. 5 pétalos a la vez. I'm going to do like 5 petals at a time. Because remember, time is money. So if you own a business, I mean, you want to do like beautiful things, but don't spend like a week on doing it, okay? So I'm going to spray, voy a atomizar una parte del papel, just one side of my paper with the paper portion, just spray it, and I'm going to place the wire. Voy a poner el alambre más o menos de la mitad del espacio que lleva mi pétalo. It's kind of like a halfway. And I'm going to try to make it even. Voy a tratar de ponerlos el mismo espacio para que mis pétalos, cuando los corte, pues tengan como el mismo tamaño. So try to place it even so my petals gonna have kind of the same size. And then, now that I place this, I'm going to spread again now the other side. Voy a atomizar otro poquito y voy a cerrar. I'm gonna make like a sandwich. Pues voy a cerrar aquí y voy a tratar de apretar donde están los alambritos. I'm gonna just try to make sure, I want to make sure that my wires are really in between my 2 sheets of paper. Just like so, nada más como así. Entonces ya tenemos, it looks like a lollipops, like in a package. Parecen como paletitas. Entonces así vamos a hacer varios. Esta flor no lleva un número determinado de pétalos. This flower, since it's a fantasy flower, there is not like a specific number of petals. It just needs 2 sizes, okay? As many as you want, and then remember that we cut the 1/3, so I have my 2 pieces, and I'm gonna do the same. So one it just fall, and the other one that I just cut it, I'm gonna use this one that is kind of the same size. It's slightly smaller, so I'm gonna use it for my smaller petals. But it's the same. Voy a hacer lo mismo. Voy a tomar mi poción para papel, que nos ayuda a mantenerlo hidratado. This is help to have the wafer paper really hydrated and pliable. And I'm gonna do the same. Voy a hacer lo mismo. Voy a poner, it's kind of like a 3/4. It's not like a halfway, no, either all the way. So no estoy poniendo el alambrito todo hasta arriba, ni tampoco a la mitad. Es como 3/4. Y esta técnica de alambrado, this technique to wire petals, you can do any flower. O sea, esta tú puedes hacer cualquier tipo de flor, como las poinceras. Ahí viene la temporada de Navidad, Christmas, es Christmas season soon. So, you can make poinceras, puedes hacer nochebuenas con esta técnica. Y what I really like about using paper potion instead of just water or another liquid is that, I mean, it doesn't like eat the paper, even I use like a lot, okay? The only thing is like it can make it a little wrinkle, but I'm using like a good amount of. And then that's the first step, and then I'm going to let this dry for the next step, okay? Any questions? No questions at all?
Sorry, I have my mic muted. So I'm like trying to click it and it kept clicking in and out. So Brenda wants to know what paper potion is, and I'm going to go ahead and put the link down there as well.
Yeah, you can say it better than me.
Then I have to unmute my mic, and it takes me forever. All right. Oh my gosh. All right. So Brenda is Paper Potion is an exclusive product created by Icing Images. And it is there's no water, no alcohol. So when you use it with wafer paper, it doesn't melt it. It just softens it. It also smells really, really good, like vanilla. So people will spray their cake and cookie boxes with it before delivery. But it basically softens things, and people use it also to paint with, like the dry dust. And they also, what else do they use it? I just lost my train of thought. A glue. They use it as a glue. Thank you. But it's an awesome product. We had to develop a second version of it, or not version. My words are bad today. I've been driving all day. A second size because people loved it so much. So Mate, you have the large 8-ounce version. It looks like,
because I use it a lot.
Yeah. As Julia stated, it's like magic.
This is like magic. O sea, ahora I'm gonna say it in Spanish. So, la poción para papel no es en base de alcohol ni agua. Esta es un líquido especial diseñado por Icing Images para trabajar con el wafer paper, que lo va a hidratar, lo va a hacer súper flexible y va a ayudar a que lo trabajes mejor. No se va a desbaratar el papel, y también con este puedes pintar en el papel con pinturas en polvo. Lo mezclas y haces tus pinturas para pintar con wafer paper. Y como vieron ahorita que lo usé también como pegamento. I use it as a glue as well, just like that. Okie dokie. So in the meantime that my wafer paper flower or petals are drying, I want to start working in my texture. So something like this. Look at this. This original technique was created by Cassie from Cassie Cakes and Crafts, like a couple years ago, and it's really super cool and super easy using the wafer paper as well. I just kind of like upgraded a little bit. I just put a twist on it, but is that the original idea? Okay, so I'm just gonna grab, in this case, blue fondant, but you can use it like with any like dark color, like a brown or green, will look like super nice. Okay, and I'm gonna just roll my fondant, but I'm gonna leave it like a thick. Okay, so esta técnica digamos que la creó Cassie, mi amiga Cassie, que es Cassie de pasteles y crafts. Es una técnica súper sencilla que utilizas wafer paper y te queda algo como esto. Okay.
So Brooke Kenny is on. Brooke is our newest customer satisfaction representative in our office. So I just wanted to say hey, because she's been on before, but she never said hi. Told her she had to say hi.
Okay. Hi. Okay. Now ya tengo mi fondant un poquito grueso. So lo voy a poner el paper portion super bastante. I'm gonna like use kind of a lot. I'm gonna just super wet my fondant piece. ¿Sí? Super wet, bastante. Y le voy a poner papel encima. I'm gonna add pieces of wafer paper, just like so. And I'm gonna make sure that it's super soaked. Super soaked, you see? Absorb all the paper potion. I can let it dry. You know, I just put it aside and just let it dry. But I'm kind of like in desperation. Time on TV is money, so I'm gonna use a little bit of cornstarch just to try to take the excess of humidity. Entonces, esta se deja secar, pero si estás en apuro, le puedes poner un poquito de fécula de maíz y eso ayuda a acelerar el proceso de secado del papel. Okay, so I'm going to, let me just, because I have my surface wet, so I'm going to just put a little bit more. And I'm going to start rolling out my fondant. So that way my wafer start like stretching and then giving us this beautiful, look at this texture.
That's really awesome.
Nice and super easy, look. Start like stretching and make it like a birch. I don't know if I'm saying right, like a birch. And this is my twist. This is the original idea of Cassie, but my twist is just keep building layers, okay? And if you have like wafer paper from other projects that I was working on it, look, I just paint this with the paper portion and a little bit of dust color. I made my own design and I just photocopy. I put it in the edible printer and I just make photocopies. I just copy the paper, my design, and they have more design, the same design.
Okay, we have some questions, my dear.
Yes.
Let's see. We answered that one. Lisa wants to know if you add colors to the paper potion when you paint with it, I'm assuming. So how do you paint with it when you do it?
Oh, this is just, oops. So I have my dots here, you see? And
okay, so with dust.
I'm gonna use the same it's just a little bit.
You're so funny.
I know, right? This wasn't planned. And I'm going just to add, see, I just add the paper portion to my dust color. And gotcha. I make paint.
Gotcha. All right, so that's how you make the paint.
Yeah, and then just start painting.
And so Belinda wants to know, and hello, Marissa. What are you doing? So Belinda wants to know, is that wafer paper in the fondant?
Yes.
Or I'm on the fondant.
I roll out the fondant. You see, this is my fondant. I roll it out thick, and then I spray it with the paper portion a lot. And now I just place the wafer paper on top, just like that. I can let it dry, just put it at the side, let it dry. But sometimes, you know, you are in a rush, so you know that you can add a little bit of cornstarch, just spread, just to take the tackiness, okay? So the tackiness, so you can keep rolling the fondant with the wafer paper on top. So my twist is keep building layers. So I add more paper portion, I add more wafer paper. I have these wafers from projects that I've been, you know, working on it. And I just keep adding. And then keep adding, keep rolling until you have like a nice final texture that you want. So I'm going to keep just adding. I mean, I forgot to bring a fluffy brush or like a soap, you know, with the cornstarch, just to put it on the top. So nada más estoy construyendo layers, capas, o sea, con mi fondant así gruesecito, le puse una capa, lo puedo dejar secar, pero para acelerar el proceso, le pongo un poquito de cornstarch y lo empiezo a extender. Entonces mi fondant va tomando esta textura. ¿Sí? And I can keep doing it as long as I have like a thick fondant and then roll it out until the thickness that I want it, okay? Just keep rolling, la sigo extendiendo. Y si quiero ponerle otra, por ejemplo, aquí que le falta, le puedo poner un poquito más de papel. Y me gustó que, por ejemplo, estos papeles que ya tienen color, I like that these pieces of paper they have color, so it gave me more, I don't know, texture. Okay, so, like, I'm happy. See, if there is some pieces that you think, oh, I don't like that, I can see too much paper, you can just pull it with your fingers like this. See? And then you have a nice texture with your fondant and wafer paper.
That's cool.
Yes, I really love this technique. And then you can build layers and layers and layers. And now you can just make a large piece, like over the board, or make a long stripe and then cover all your cake around, right, in one piece. But I like to make more in small pieces like this. So I'm just start cutting my pieces as the widest I want it. So it's like a tree bark texture. Something like this. Oh, my hands are awful now. real quick, I want to cut my hands. Just stop. Okay. Clean hands. So now we have these nice texture pieces of fondant that I'm going to let it dry. But like if I want more like in the edge, I can just start ripping this up like a little pieces. So I have another finish on the top of my piece. See, because here is the paper is too square. I'm just like ripping, pinching out the end. And I'm going to just let it dry for a bit now. I can just let it dry for a bit. You can do this like the day before. You're gonna finish your cake. You can do it in different colors. You can, when your paper is all in your fondant and the texture is nice, you can paint on top like a watercolor and have another look. I think that's really interesting. And then these pieces that I'm not using in like this, I can just make another texture in my fondant with my leftovers. See?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yep. Because this, I can just, again, if this is gonna be my size of the cake, like here, all my leftover, I can just cover the top of my cake or the board and I still have some texture on it. It's all about textures. Any questions?
No, Tina decided to drive the car now with two hands, so she's going to come back later. But they're loving this. They're loving this. And Stacy, you need to get a hold of Marissa and Lori because you have the missing box. So, oh my gosh, we were looking for that. Heather Salmon just joined us. Welcome, my dear.
Welcome, welcome. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. No sé si alguien tenga preguntas. Okay, once that my pieces of fondant with texture dries, I mean, it can be something like more hard like this. I have a little bit of cocoa powder. If you have brown luster dust, you can use that. It's just like give a little bit of rustic look, like finish, you know, like a dirt or something like that. With a little bit of cocoa.
Little bit of cocoa.
Little bit of cocoa. Con un poquito de cocoa en polvo. O si tienes color café en polvo, también puedes utilizar. Le podemos poner different colors. I have this green. Just here and there, you know, make it more interesting. And I have a little bit of orange that we are going to use in the center of my flower so everything matches. Just here and there. So you make your cake or your piece more interesting. Entonces aquí es nada más ponerle un poquito de color, cosas que te le vas a integrar. En este caso le voy a integrar una flor con un poco de naranja. So voy a usar este color naranja. Let me just put this So voy a usar el mismo color naranja alrededor de mi pastel para que todo como que combine. So I have this like orange color, so that's what I'm using a little bit on my pieces down. And the final touch for this technique is, you know that when we cut wafer paper, we always have like a leftover. So I just blend this in the food processor or in your mixer, and you blend it. So los pedacitos que te sobran, nada más los licúas. And I sifted. These are sifted, and I just blended with a little bit of coconut flakes. Okay, estos nada más lo licué con un poco de coco, like coco rallado, and I add a little bit of dust, like this color, just tiny bit, and then just shake it, and it's kind of like moss, like edible moss.
That's so cool. You always save your scraps, guys.
Yeah, save your scraps, because remember that I did the other day the crinoline technique with just scraps. There is a lot of things that you can do with the scraps, so don't throw them away. So now I'm going to use a little bit of glue or paper potion, and then here and there I'm going to add, look like here, I'm just going to add a little bit of moss on my cake.
Moss. Very good.
¿Cómo se le llama este? Se me olvidó cómo se hace en español. Como gras, como pastito, como musgo. It's moss, it's musgo.
She's making fun of me.
I was like, what is the word? So we have a little bit of musgo. Here and there, a little bit of moss. And it's all edible, and you have a super texture. Then it looks like super hard, but believe me, it is not. See?
Heather loves your accent.
Oh,
we love Heather's. We love Heather's because she says out and about.
Oh yeah, I love it. About.
A boot.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, well, not weird, it's funny.
That's weird.
What'd you say?
I said, it's weird.
Well, I'm weird, so that's fine. Okay. So, I'm gonna let this dry for a bit, and then let's just continue working in my flower. See, it's a project that you can do honestly real quick, because in the meantime something is drying, you can keep working in the second project, and then in the meantime that this is drying now, I'm gonna keep working in my flower, and I'm just gonna put this aquí in the side.
I see like a what do you call it? A cityscape almost, or a mountainscape with, you know, the pictures that are all split up that you see on the walls. It's very similar to that.
Yes, like a old board, like billboard, or it can be something like beach related, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of like the fence already washed out from the sea salt and something like that. Sí, con mucha textura. Okay. Entonces, so we have this. I can feel it that it's still a little bit wet, but I have one already dry from yesterday. Oh, this is good. So now I'm gonna start just cutting my petals. I'm just going to divide and conquer. Solo voy a empezar a separar mis. You see, this is like a paleta, like a lollipop. So I love it because this is, you work super fast with the wafer paper. There is no, like, too much waiting for this to dry. See? So now in this stage you can cut any shape of petal, any shape. So ya que tienes este así, ya puedes cortar cualquier forma de pétalo, cualquiera. But I have this one. Pero yo tengo esta, entonces aquí tomo una y con la plantilla just voy a recortar alrededor. So I have my template here and I'm just going to cut around. And voila, we have a petal. Tenemos un pétalo.
Just like that. Just like that. Sorry.
Just like that. Now, if you are in a rush or you want to save time, you can cut 2 or 3 petals at the same time because we are awesome. So I'm just going to.
We are.
We all are awesome. And I'm
we are awesome.
Place these. Sí, voy a juntar 3 o 4 y voy a recortar. This doesn't have to be perfect because non-perfection is beauty. Esto no tiene que estar perfecto. See, and now we have like 3 and 4. I can just like make a round and just, you know, make it pretty if they are not pretty. So I'm gonna cut all my petals, the 2 sizes. I have the large one and the middle one or the small one. The same way. I'm saving my scraps for another project later. I'm gonna let this keep drying because I already have some made. Now I'm going to just give some movement. That's what I like for this technique with petals and wire, because I can just little by little just bend. You see, bend the wire, and I can do any shape that I want. Any shape that I want. Con esta. With the wire, obviously, just very careful so I don't rip the paper, so muy despacito para no romper el papel, pero ya que lo tienes así, entonces ya le das movimiento sexy, you give a sexy movement to the petal, little by little, just bending the wire. And I'm going to bend this part like that, like that. So it's like a spoon. Okay? to do this with all the petals. So I mentioned that this flower, since it's a fantasy flower, there is no specific number of petals, so you can make as many as you want or as few as you want. And the last thing that I'm going to do in each petal, I'm going to take like a toothpick, voy a agarrar un palillo, y si ya mi papel está muy seco, quizás se rompa al hacerle movimientos. Si se rompe, nada más le agregan paper potion. So I'm gonna just like curve my ends here, but if my paper is dry already, so I'm just gonna spread a little bit in my petal, just like that. So to make it again like a pliable, and my paper won't break, it will just like curve. See the curve? Entonces nada más con un poquito del paper potion le ponemos en la puntita para que cuando le haga este movimiento no se me rompa el papel. Y así voy a hacer con todas mis pétalos. Es doblarle un poquito aquí en la punta. Give some love to the petal, okay?
Let's see those hearts and thumbs ups for the paper. Yay. And the paper potion.
Yay! Hooray for the paper potion. Make miracles.
I don't know how to make, I know how to do thumbs up. I don't know how to make hearts. Oh, there they are. I see. I figured it out. Now I can laugh because there's other options too.
Yes. So now
I just learned something.
What? What?
I just learned something. I'm playing with all these little emojis I can play with.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm going to make the center of my flower, and I'm gonna grab another wire. But since this is just like a thin wire, this is again number 22. You can, for the center, you can use like 20 or 18, even 18. So to make the center that is a little larger, if I just use the wire as it is, it won't support the weight of the center. Entonces, como el alambre pues está muy delgadito, no me va a soportar el tamaño del centro. Lo que voy a hacer es, lo voy a doblar en un círculo. I'm gonna make a circle here first with my little tweezers. So I'm gonna make a loop, something like this. And then I'm going to bend the circle like a little hat, like this. See? Something like this. Now I have more support for my center. And then the center, I'm just going to take a little piece of my brand new modeling paste.
So where do you get that paste from?
No, I just made it.
That's right. Okay.
I created paste.
That's right. Okay.
Yes, I create this sugar clay modeling paste that as soon is going to be released, so you can model without any issues, and it's amazing. Okay, you see, now I just cover my little circle of wire. And then I'm going to take like these little pointy scissors, or probably the same toothpick that I don't know what I did with here. Just like, you can just pinch, you see, or like use the little scissors and then just cut little pieces of the pasta, just to make some texture. Something like that. I can open a little bit this little pieces around.
So cute.
And super easy and super fast. And now I can just put a little bit of color using dust color, dry color, just tiny bit. The same color that I use in my texture here, little bit of brown here and there as well. So the same color, so everything match. Tiny bit of green. It doesn't look much, but when you look all the cake at the end, you say, oh, everything matches. You just pinch, pinch. And I have my center. And I'm going to start putting together my flower. Just clean my hands because the dust is really messy. You know, people sometimes when they see you in a video with no gloves, it's like, oh, you should use a glove. And I think, like, do you know how many times I wash my hands between cake? Oh my goodness. Sometimes it's like 3 or 4 times between making one cake because you're using one color, then wash the hands, there's another color, blah, blah. It was like, for real, people should know that my hands are more clean than my gloves.
I know. Sometimes you wonder when people were wearing gloves and you watch them touch everything with their gloves, thinking that their hands are clean because they're wearing gloves, but they're touching everything.
The hands are really, really clean, but the gloves are super dirty. So I already have more petals that are ready. They're ready to go. And I want just to start putting my flower together. I have this nice, very vibrant, like flora tape. Tengo este que es el flora tape. Ya tengo más pétalos que ya hice anteriormente de la misma forma que ya les mostré. Y tengo este flora tape, nada más lo estiro para activar el pegamento. I'm just stretching my flora tape just to activate the glue. So I mean, you can do it different ways. You can just go like one by one and then just wrapping around your flora tape around and then just keep adding. The small petals are going to be in the center. And then the larger petals obviously are going to be more like towards the end. See, it's just like going around and around in circles.
You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round.
And I'm going to have my flower. I really, really love this material. So I'm in love with wafer paper. I can do so many things with wafer paper because you can use it as a structure, behind fondant, behind buttercream, behind royal icing. So you can make like flowers. You can make. I made like at the face of a warrior in a cookie that I participate in the contest because I like a smash like a 10 or 15 layers of paper. So I make it thick like a fondant, and I just use that to carve the face of my warrior for my cookie. So you can do a lot of things. So this is just going around. Try to make the flower round. See? And at the end, we are going to fix it. I can see that I miss here. I need another here. I need another here. And again, you can make these flowers, these petals, way in advance because the humidity doesn't affect the weather. Just keep it in a clear, tight containers, just out of the dust. Is the only thing that can affect, like get dusty. But for real, you can make these flowers with wafer paper way in advance. You can make some petals without the wires, yes. But what I love about using a wire wafer paper petal is that I can move it around as I really want it. Lo que me encanta de trabajar con wafer paper y alambre, los pétalos, es que yo los puedo mover como yo quiera. Ta-da!
Beautiful. And Jessie says this makes a fancy gardener different center. If you make a different center, I guess that is so cool.
Yeah, you can make different centers. You can use like glitter. You can use different colors. Even you can use like isomal, like make your center with isomal. You can do that. You can do that as well. And now I'm just going. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna show the magic of TV. Ta-da! Because I wanted to finish. So imagine that this is cake with buttercream. You can use more fresh buttercream to attach your fondant or ganache or royal icing. But since this is a demo and my cake is a yummy styrofoam, I'm just gonna use shortening to do it. Just shortening. Even in the ganache, you can use a little bit of shortening. So you have your cake already crumbed. And it's like this. It's just as easy as just keep attaching these around. And the wonder is like, oh, this is too high. Okay, I can just pinch. And I really love this look. Like this is too high.
It's so cool.
And then,
Gardenia, not gardener. That's what Jessie was saying.
Jardín. Like this is a little cricket. I'm just going to cut the excess just to feed my another. And this doesn't need to be like the same thickness. Can be like a little thinner, a little more wide. So if you let your pieces dry, like this is dry from yesterday, you can just attach it. It won't move like this, okay? This is just because the fondant is fresh. But if you use it like that, dry from the day before or from the morning, and if you finish your cake in the afternoon, so it will hold like straight.
That is so cool. Okay, I have a thought. You know my wonderful thoughts when my head goes wild.
Yes.
What if you dip them in isomalt?
Oh yeah, right.
What if you do it with a cello sheet, like a white cello sheet or a clear cello sheet? I don't know. I don't know these answers. They're my what ifs that I do.
Yeah, I mean with Icing Images products, the possibilities are endless.
I got that one. That is so pretty.
Endless. So now I'm gonna put my flower here down.
Beautiful.
And as you can see, I just add a little bit of moss here in my white. and my white piece of the second tier in the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have my flower, and I have all my cake with my nice texture around.
Wow.